Welcome back to another episode of the Stay Connected podcast. It's your host, Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer. I'm pleased to be alongside Jonathan Cessa today. He's the founder and CEO of Warrior Golf Academy, an organization dedicated to supporting veterans through the game of golf and championing accessibility, mental health, and inclusion within the sport. Jonathan is a seasoned caddy trainer and also a PGA of America golf coach and brings a wealth of experience from the game. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for being here on the podcast today.
Oh, Leo, well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk what's important about golf to me.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, the second I met you, something about you was a little bit different. It seemed like you were on that path of like truly making an impact through the game of golf. And I'm just curious, man. I love to start it like this. How did you get involved into the game of golf?
So I've always loved golf. Ever since I was a child, I used to just, my grandfather would drop me off at the range and I would just hit buckets of balls. And that was like a mental place for me to just like let go, even from a young age. Then once I joined the military, I joined 2013 and had one time I was first duty station was in South Korea. So that was a little different for being first thing into the military, having to go overseas, stationed right next to the DMZ. So we were primed for fighting all the time. Had to be ready to go. A lot of stuff happened up there, and a lot of people didn't take it so well. So headspace in the military was a big thing, especially in the time that I was going through after this GWAT and 9/11 that just passed. I want to say that I thank all of our service members, all of our law enforcement, all of our first responders for everything. Of course, never forget. And I think that's a big thing is that a lot of people, especially nowadays, how connected, right? We got to stay connected, how connected everybody really needs to be. And an impact like that was huge and it brought everyone together. So, not only for that, but coming into the golf world 2013 to 2019, I did one tour as well. And after that, when I got out 2019, I was in a bad mental head state. I have 100% rated VA. A lot of it has to do with TBI. I fractured my neck in two places. I have bad migraines. I have arthritis in the hands. I have neurological disorders that make playing golf very tough at times. Balance issues, vertigo issues, and a lot of that, I think, got to be a testament. Like, not only am I blessed to be able to walk, but if I'm able to get out there and help others play golf, then anybody should be able to enjoy the game. So 2019, I got out and I actually moved to Costa Rica when the COVID hit. So I played golf every single day out there. I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. I was like the only person on the golf course. It was my sanctuary. I found myself and it saved my life, honestly. Being able to play golf every day like that and just humble myself. I had a lot of PTSD, a lot of survivor guilt and remorse, and I'm sure a lot of other people have those type of things. But when you're able to put that aside and just kind of look inward, there's a larger calling. You know, you can't feel bad for myself. So I met my wife in Costa Rica. I was blessed, so we were able to move here to South Florida, and I started working a couple of clubs. I got into the PGA of America as an associate. I got PGA Hope certified. I went through the U.S. Disabled Golf Association, good friends there, European Disabled Golf Association, the U.S. Adaptive Golf Associate, as many things as I could get. I've been through them and wanted to make sure that I can offer the complete service. And when it comes to the disabled community and veterans, I think there's a lot that still needs to be done, right? I know. So I saw an available spot for something that I could do. I needed to build a community, right? A community that's really inclusive. Golf isn't like it used to. You can buy a set of clubs for very cheap, and Warrior Golf Academy is all about teaching veterans how to not only maintain their own equipment, but you can refurbish it. You can buy a set of clubs for $50, regrind them, regrip them, redo everything, and then you have not only instilled a little bit of yourself into that set, then you have some pride in it, and then you can go out and play the game for relatively cheap. And that's what we're trying to accomplish is being able to get as many people as we can outside of the home. Because the biggest thing is being stuck inside with your own thoughts. Um, It's a terrible, dark place, and the suicide numbers only increase. And my biggest goal is if I could stop one person from committing suicide through my actions, then it's been accomplished.
Yeah. Wow, man. That's truly unbelievable what you've gone through, and that statement you said, golf saved my life. I mean, that's a statement right there. And it truly goes to the testament of the sport and like what the game really brings out of people. You know, given what you've gone through with your background and what you had to overcome, you know, like with the game of golf, what were some of the things that really stood out about the game that you felt like truly saved you from that being in that mental headspace that was going downhill?
It's not only the community, everybody, anytime you go to a golf course, I like to say, you can't be in a bad mood, right? I get out there and everyone's usually nice. I say usually because some people have bad days, but usually people are very nice and like being there. They welcome you with open arms. They're willing to help you. And then being out there, somebody like me, I don't like being around large groups of people. I like having a little bit of space, and it can even be a populated environment on a golf course, but still have your own space because it's so wide open. I like the manicured grass. It smells good. I like looking at nature, and you're feeling connected to the earth. I'm probably going to use that a lot. I'll probably use connected more than grounded. But yeah, you feel connected to grounding yourself to the world. And that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people don't want to talk about inclusion stuff now, but when it comes to actually belonging, the sense of belonging comes from people feeling that they're in the place that they're supposed to be in that moment, right? So if you have that sense of feeling, and that's what I get on the golf course. Other people get it in other things, and that's what drives their passion. And I'm lucky enough that I have the availability now to be able to share this with as many people possible and try to get the word out and show them what I see when I go out to a golf course.
Yeah. And I'm curious to go down this lane because my mind kind of went in this direction. Like I'm curious to know what the correlations are between being in the army, in the military, or in the navy, whatever a space that you're in, and being in golf. Are there any sort of correlations? I know they're complete polar opposite environments, but have you been able to connect any dots there in terms of performance?
Oh, most definitely. So, especially when it comes to golf, you have to be disciplined, right? You know this. It's all about the same actions, repeating the same thing over and over again. So that way, when you make your small adjustments, you know what you're changing, right? You can't be sporadic and wild and then make a change and then you have no idea what your swing is doing. Same thing with the military. There's a set rules all the way down. It was very structured. It really helped me out when I joined because of the way that it was formatted and gave me that availability. But once you start getting a little bit of rank, you're able to kind of do things a little bit more your way and influence things. And I like that about golf. I think having the ability to make your little changes, you listen, this is the protocol, how you should do things, and then you just switch it up a little bit to make it feel right for you. Um, so I'm a huge person when it comes to just learning by feel. I can show you how to do something, a grip, things like that, but then you got to feel it because once you get that feeling down, uh, that's what you need to replicate. It's not exactly all the other stuff you got to think about, right? It's that feeling, the inside to out feeling or the over the top feeling that you had, or when you just hit the ball first and you compress it, that feeling, once you train or you coach somebody to get that, it's night and day difference. It just clicks like a light bulb. And especially when it comes to caddying too. Caddying, I think, is going to be huge. That's my biggest right now, I guess, my biggest part of Warrior Golf Academy that I'm pushing. We have some sponsorship when it's coming to that with Eastside Golf, who's going to be supplying us with some outfits. So our caddies will look the same. We're going to be caddying with Seagate Club in Del Rey, so that's going to be fantastic. Anybody in those areas, come out, say hi. But having veterans out there caddying, not only can you talk to just about anybody. You got to be personable once you're in the military because you have people from all walks of life, religion, everything. But you're also routine and and you're making sure that you're disciplined. So once you tell them you got to do this, 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 and they know what to do, and you get along with just about everybody.
Yeah, there truly is a correlation there with the discipline and the concentration and focus that it
Hmm.
takes to be able to, and the resilience to be able to sustain all of that with golf and in those types of environments. I want to learn a little bit more about your vision with the Warrior Golf Academy and how it aligns to like your personal goals and values. What do you want to do with it?
So I founded an Warrior Golf Academy based upon helping veterans and people leaving service to get employed into golf services, basically. I want to make sure that there's an avenue for any veteran, any law enforcement, anybody coming that's been through trauma and you want to get into golf. I want to be able to provide not only a pathway, but the knowledge of how to do it. And I think there's fantastic programs out there. Like I said, I'm DGA Hope certified. I've attended those classes and I think they're great. Highly recommend that everybody attend one of those if you can. And then after that 6 week program, when you're more interested, that's kind of where we come in. They teach you the basics, and I'm going to say, look, if you need more one on one lessons, I will teach you myself. It's all tailored one on one lessons using technology to improve the advancement of veterans in the community of golf, right? So whether it's them coming out and caddying, I have presentations and slides presented by Caddy Master, so that way we can get anybody from state zero, if you know nothing about golf, all the way up to caddying. We do shadowing, out on the course training, and then I can also get you a direct line to employment through caddying. So that's where I'm at now.
No, I love that, and I
Hmm.
and I really like the caddy lane because it's such a great way to get people involved into the game of golf. It's like you're not swinging a
Yes.
club, you don't have the pressure of hitting the shot, but like you still get to be a pivotal piece in the experience of the game. So
Yeah.
how did you develop the curriculum of the caddy program? Because you currently train caddies and all that. Like, what were the key factors that you considered?
I did a lot of research, right? Mostly a lot of YouTube videos on what other people are doing that's out there, and I think there's a lot of material that needs to be recreated, and I would like to do that. Moving forward, I found that I've attended caddy schools myself. I spoke to a lot of people that have caddied and also other professional golfers, and there's just basic things you need to know. Going through some of these caddy schools, people already think that you know the common terminology, but you don't want somebody to go out there and not know what an albatross is and someone talking about it. And then you're just like kind of looking like, or you don't know how to stack the bag correctly and you're putting clubs in and you just don't look professional. Right. And being somebody that was in the military, I feel like being unprepared when I go into these situations makes me look bad and that gives me high anxiety. So I can only imagine everybody else. I would much rather have more information. If I need to forget a little bit of it, that's up to me to decide. But there should be no questions. It should be a complete course. And that's what I want to offer through the academy is a complete course, not only for caddying, but for the rest of golf too.
Yeah. And there truly is a need for that because I don't feel like the information that at least I've been consuming online has really given people a good understanding of how to do it. I'll give you an example. I played Q school last year and I had a guy who really wanted to caddy me. And obviously, like as a
Mhm.
professional golfer, you want to have an experienced caddy in your bag. You want to have someone that, knows the course, or at least knows how to carry themselves and understands how to
Yeah.
be a caddy and develop a good relationship with the player throughout the course of a round. This particular individual didn't have much experience caddying. He was just kind of like a good friend that
Yeah.
wanted to help out, and I realized that as I was training him because I trained him for like about a couple of months before the event. I realized that it's all in the training. It's all in what
Mhm.
you actually instill in the person next to you, and I mean, a combination of it as a professional golfer. It's partly done by the player and what you're training your caddy to really like be like with you, but on the greater standpoint from the caddies in general, you guys got to have like a good understanding of the simple things that you got to take care of on the golf course, so that you don't look like a fool, or you're kind of lost, or you have no idea what's going on. And golfers could get a little angry sometimes, and like it just
Yeah,
all ripple effects. um
exactly.
so definitely agree with you on the caddy side, how there is a side of on the training that needs to be improved, and it seems like what you're doing is really helping that. So, how does the Warrior Golf Academy address the mental health side of things in your programs?
So I'm not trained to provide any type of mental health therapies, so I stay away from that. It does help just by being out there and having someone like-minded to kind of talk to, and I am linked up with a lot of other people that are in those safe spaces where if you feel like you need some mental health help, there's awesome people here in South Florida, and like I say, I have plenty of resources to I guess, assist and push people and offer them to get a little bit of help. I know I've been there myself. I know you've looked at and seen my LinkedIn. Anyone that's
Yeah,
seen it knows my personal story. I'm out there with it. I've been through substance abuse myself. I've been through a whole bunch of myriad of different things, and the biggest stigma right now is reaching out for help. So don't be afraid to reach out for help, but you also have to know that your family's not really equipped to provide that help to you. It's good to
yeah,
like bounce ideas off of things, but if you are really struggling with something, you need 988 is a fantastic number. Mental health nationwide, you could call them, and there's professionals trained to give you the help that you need. Um, but especially working with veterans in this area, there's plenty of VAs. The West Palm VA is amazing, and they're very, very close, and we do a lot of work with them as well. And then PGA Hope actually has a memorandum of understanding with the VA system showing that golf is used as a therapeutic means and as a therapy. So they can offer that through the VA system, which is incredible, showing that the government has acknowledged that this is a type of therapy for people getting back into the world
yeah.
after their service to the country.
Absolutely. And I want to go a little bit deeper with your
Sure.
experience on and how you were able to deal with what you were going through, and how the game actually helped you. Like, what were some of the things that you felt like you implemented while you were on the golf course that actually, helped you transition your mindset, and I'm guessing be a lot more grateful and be a lot more connected to who you really are.
It took a long time, honestly, and I'm sure it was much more than just golfing. It's got to be a whole holistic approach. Living down in Costa Rica, I'm sure did a lot for me as well. Kind of getting on the golf course got me. I don't want to say disconnected now, but disconnected from like technology and everything else. Like I needed a mental reset, right? Everybody puts so much pressure on yourself. You do a memory wipe on your computer so it runs better. You do a defragmentation, and I believe that you need to do things like that in your mind as well. Like you're scatterbrained, you're all over the place. You need to just take a moment and collect yourself. Uh, One healthcare professional, Miss Lynn Healy here in South Florida. She's amazing. I love her. Thank you so much. She's the one who reached out and helped me so much. But she told me, and one thing that'll always stick with me is that you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So looking at it like that is like, I'm trying to help people, but I can't if I don't have anything to give. I have to be okay myself. So looking at it that way, that's when I was like, I need to refocus myself. And while I was out in Costa Rica, I got local communities and I was teaching English out there as well and doing other things with the local community that was amazing. And I think it was just being more connected and open and allowing myself to just take everything in and be that I'm here for a larger reason. I can't be negative and think down every day. I need to be positive, moving forward, and seeing what I can do to help other people because I've been through this and I need to be an advocate for those things. So that way, other people that are experiencing the same thing know what it's like and you're learning from other people's experiences instead of having to go through it yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so easy to go down the rabbit hole. And I'm sure hopefully not that many people, but there's might be people watching this that might not have been in the best attitude on the golf course. You know, they're struggling to stay positive because they want to see good results. They want to get better, but they just feel like they can't. What piece of
Mhm.
advice do you have, not only as a veteran but also as a PGA coach, for golfers that struggle to have that positive attitude and understand, what the process of the game truly is about?
It's exactly like you said, it's a journey, it's a process, right? And just like everyone said that if you don't enjoy the journey, then maybe you shouldn't be looking for just the destination, right? Because the destination isn't what golf is about. Golf is about the journey. You need to like going out there and even practicing. You need to like going out there and working on different types of shots. You need to be liking that you're going out there and working on your putting. If you're not hitting the putts that you need to be. If you're three putting, four putting, then you can cut a lot of strokes there, and you need to be putting in the work for it. And a lot of people, I think, get upset at themselves because golf is that one sport, right? There's not many others that you can't just go out there and hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, right? You can't be a professional running back and just get hit by some 400-pound dude. Like, you're gonna know that you are not a professional. But golf gives you those key moments where you hit the green from 200 out, right? And it lands 3 feet. And everyone thinks like, I can do this. And that's what everyone comes back for. That's why PGA coaches have a job. That's why there's so many golf courses out there, because it feels magical. And that's it. That's what everyone strives for. It's that replication of that 1 in 1,000 shot. And then golf's a game of opposites. I say the biggest thing is the more you try, just try less. Like, you'd be
Yeah.
surprised. If the more in your head you are, the worse you're gonna do. If you want the ball to go right, you swing left. If you want the ball to go high, you swing low. If you want the ball to go low, you swing high, right? Like, it's all a game of opposites. Uh, so if you want to play better, don't think about it, and you will play better.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great piece of advice for any golfer listening to this. Just let go of the expectations. Stop trying so much and enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, see the big picture, and appreciate where you're at. Because
Hmm.
once you appreciate where you're at, everything else appreciates with you and things progress, in my opinion. That's what helps me stay connected. And it
Definitely.
does for you too. So I want to transition over a little bit about some of your future plans with what you got with the caddy program and the Warrior Golf Academy. Could you talk to me a little bit about what's on the horizon for what you got going on with your initiatives and projects?
Sure. So I've been I guess working with a lot of other companies. There's some good ones here coming up. I know a couple of clothing companies. Eastside Golf is one that we're working with. We're working with Shanks Golf for women's wear as well. I think that I was running a bunch of tournaments, and a lot of people are not thinking about all the women that are playing golf. It is a huge market. Like, we need to be offering things for the women golfers too in our scrambles, right? And there's plenty of people out there that want to
Yeah.
win packages. So we need to be more inclusive in our thinking. So I want to, through Warrior Golf Academy, make sure that through all South Florida, I'm working on Miami to Palm Beach and Jupiter now. And then I'm going to expand out and go to Naples. Once I reach out to Naples, we'll have that whole area. And I'm looking at training, at least for the caddy side, personally myself, one every month, and getting them into start looping. And then I'm also going to get our training side is up, and I have another coach that's working with me as well. So we have two coaches that are doing trainings for veterans free of charge. And also, if anybody else wants to come, you can send us a message, and we are more than open to helping you out. We are running with Sportbox AI to use AI for our training programs, and it's fantastic. So using that gives you a bunch of different swing analytics, lets you know your shoulder tilt, your chest sway. You can put your swing side by side next to like DeChambeau and see like the difference. It's fantastic. So using that technology, I want to make sure that Warrior Golf Academy keeps acquiring the top edge technology to keep veterans ahead of the curve when it comes to the golf. market. That way, they're more valuable when it comes to I guess higher ability and coming into working into the community.
So you have a physical location where you guys operate at, or?
I have a physical location that I operate for the caddy side of it. Um, as far as the rest of the training, we just have a couple of coaches that work a couple of PGA courses where we can offer on the driving ranges. But I would like to look for, I have been looking for some sponsors such as Foresight, wink, wink, uh, to set up something for an inside bay. If I could have one inside bay, then I could do indoor lessons. Um, because for me, a big thing was there's a lot of people I think that are afraid to go golfing because they're embarrassed of what they might look like, right? Not a lot of people want to go out to the driving range and just have no idea what they're doing. You don't want to go play. I had another gentleman who told me I have a chance to go play Pebble Beach. And he was like, I don't think I'm going to go. I go, what do you mean? I go. Even if you just sit in the cart, go. Like, this is a huge opportunity. Like, you're on a golf course right now and you have the opportunity to see one of the bet, like you need to go. And there's always two things, right? You can play bad and you can play, but don't play slow, right? Those are the two things.
Yeah,
Don't play, just pick up your ball and move on. Enjoy the time out there with your friends and your buddies and enjoy the scenery, but take it in. Those are chances of a lifetime that other people don't get and that they would die for. So take that and revel in it. Like, this is life and you only get one of them. So take risks, be bold, and make statements, man. Get out there.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Foresight, I know you're hearing this. Hook up the man. So, so to wrap it up here, John, this has been a great podcast so far. I want to talk about, in the caddy side, what advice would you give someone that's interested in becoming a caddy and starting their journey in the golf industry?
I would say just start. Yeah, start looking up as much as you can. Reach out. I got plenty of resources and materials to send people. Caddy checklists. I have good videos that are online. I'm going to be creating more videos. I think that are going to be much more in depth. Plenty of connections to help people. Any veterans out there, I will most definitely take care of you. There's plenty of veterans caddy programs. There's plenty of things happening. If you are interested in it, look online, see what there is. But at the end of the day, it's just about being around people that like the sport of golf. If you like talking, you don't even have to play good. You just ask them. You don't even have to read the putts, right? And the secret answer is when they ask you, you always ask back, what do you think it does? And then you just say whatever they say, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
you
all
can't get
about
in
the
trouble.
experience. It's all about
It's
the
it,
experience, man.
it's it. It's it. You want a caddy to be there to help your experience, right? It should be like a vacation for every golfer. They're coming out and you want to take care of them. You want to make sure that they're going to have the best time possible. So you want to help them through their journey as a guide, almost a guide through the golf course.
Exactly. Yeah. It's almost like golf, like the course is just the stage, but what they're really going through is a full experience that helps them evolve
Yeah,
as people, man. And if you
it's
could be a
it.
guide for that as a caddy, it'll help you as a person and it'll connect you to the game of golf in some sort of way, whether you know how to swing it or not.
Yeah, and you meet so many amazing people through the journey as well. It's just fantastic. The doors that it opens, the routes that are uncovered. Um, I mean, you never know. It only takes one person and it could change your life, right? So that's why you got to get out there and you got to be open to it.
No, that's spot on, man. John, thank you so much. Where can they find you if they want to look you up?
So if you want to look me up, I'm on a PGA Coach website. So you could just type in my name on like Google search, Jonathan Cessa, PGA Coach, and it'll pop up. But it's right on the PGA's webpage.
And
And then I do have a LinkedIn profile, but that's more personal stuff, just about my journey, a little bit about golf. And then any other questions, feel free, just email me, jonathan.sessa@pga.com.
awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure to go follow the man. And I'm really excited to see it all unfold. I'm happy to be a part of it and happy to be connected with you. And any way that I can help to expand that, I'm here and we'll stay connected.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Leo, and we'll see you out in the course sometime.
Absolutely. See you guys.